Hey everybody, it's your boy Pee Wee back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the manhwa that just finished the other day, called Boundless Necromancer or Boundless Ascension. I do want to start off by saying that this comic just has finished. Finished 3 days ago with chapter 177. Um, a little quick tip before going into this. I will say Boundless Ascension is more of the correct name than Boundless Necromancer. Uh, he is called like a necromancer technically, and he has the class called necromancer. But the necromancer class itself that he has, he basically can absorb the spirits of these dead monsters or people that he kills. He can absorb their spirit, and he can convert that spirit into stats. So yes, technically, he is using necromancy in order to, because he can like you mess with the dead and absorb their stats and stuff. But if you're looking for a necromancer comic where he has like an army of skeletons or whatever, like disastrous necromancer, you won't be getting that type of necromancy in this comic. You will get necromancer skills such as absorbing souls, using those souls to like block damage and stuff, but you won't be seeing like an army of skeletons, so to say, like you would in Disastrous Necromancer. But a quick synopsis of the story: our main character, after 7 years of struggling to try and debut as a hunter, he basically gets kicked out of the gym and basically thrown away like trash. No one wants to put up with him anymore. And when he's finally down, downtrodden and like basically he doesn't want to give up and he wants to keep moving forward, but he's just tired of the way life has been going. He gets selected to be a candidate for the Tower of Trials. Now, this Tower of Trials essentially is a tower with a bunch of different floors. That each floor has a trial that he has to complete. The difficulty he chooses is hard. I'm pretty sure there's an easy and a hard version, and he chose the hard one. But essentially, he completes these missions. He gets rewards, and he basically just increases his power, increases his strength as he goes up in terms of the floors of the tower. Now, the tower has its own like, I don't want to say progression, but it has its own like organization to it. That each floor of the tower has a trial. Each I don't know if it's every floor or every other floor, or like what each floor in terms of like there are admins of the tower. I don't like as I was trying to say, like I don't know if it's an admin of each floor and an admin of like various floors, but there are admins in the tower that eventually our main character does come to learn skills from, get information from, help from, so on and so forth. But that's pretty much what this comic is all about: is our main character climbing through the tower, getting stronger, basically fighting and doing his best to achieve his goal of, basically rewriting the wrongs of his past. Now, I am going to spoil the end here, so if you don't want spoilers, then you probably should just skip ahead in the video. But essentially, our main character, his parents died in a catastrophe, when the Tower of Trials came to like Earth and so on. And basically he becomes what I think they call him the Transcendent. Let's see. They call him the Transcendent World Creator and the Son of Heavens. Yeah. So, but basically he becomes like this transcendent, this god of like death, and he's able to basically reincarnate all the people that died that day, including his parents. But he erases all the memories of himself from their memories. So, despite not being able to be with them and a part of their lives anymore, he does at least revive them, make them come back to life. And, that's basically what he fought so hard to do. Oh, the whole reason he wanted to climb that tower, complete all the trials, was to become strong enough to bring his parents back, bring all those people back, and basically just be strong enough to the point where nothing bad can happen to him anymore. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what the comic was about. At the end, he had these two administrators he was really close to that he called masters. I'm pretty sure. I know this one was his master. I don't remember if he called her master or not. I think he did. But essentially, he gets them to go back to their lives before the tower. His subordinates. And like when he finishes, he basically gives the memories of the people um, that he met along through the tower. You know, all these people he had interactions with as he went through the tower, as he when he was becoming a god, and he gives them back their memories that from before the Tower of Trials as well. And that's essentially how this comic comes to an end. You know, he completes his goal. You know, everybody gets back to where they wanted to be, and essentially how this ends is he falls asleep on the lap of like his sword. Um, this character here acts like his sword. She didn't want to go back to her world, um, like the Mirim world where she was from, and she decided to stick with him. So essentially, what they do is, you know, he falls asleep, and you know, just time passes, and you know, it's just a moment of peace and rest after a long-awaited goal and the end of his journey. Um, After he accomplished everything he wanted, after he got strong enough to do everything he wanted, um, it comes to an end. You know, how everything he wanted to happen. But yeah, overall, I think the art was pretty good. I will say the one thing that me and a lot of other people didn't like was the hairdo switch, where you know he had this hairdo at the end, but at the very beginning, see if I can find it. But yeah, at the very beginning, he actually had hair. But you know, that's just preference. You know, it doesn't really have any impact on the story. But I think the art was good. I think the story was good. I'm happy that it got an ending because a lot of times these days, a lot of comics don't get endings. They either get axed or just go on hiatus for an indefinite amount of time and just never be completed. So I was glad to see that this one actually got an ending. Um, but yeah, overall, I would definitely recommend it if you haven't checked it out yet, or if you were debating on checking it out. It's finished, it's complete, so definitely worth checking out. It's definitely it's definitely worth your time, I would say. I do like the interactions between him and the characters. I will say there is no romance, so if you're going into this, and he does interact with a lot of female characters and so on, so it's like uh, at some point, you might think there is romance, but there isn't. There's no actual female character that he ends up with romantically. So if you don't like romance, you don't have to worry about that. But essentially, this is just a main character who will basically kept him moving forward until he eventually became strong enough. He became able to accomplish the things he wanted to accomplish, and he basically found happiness at the end of the story. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. Definitely check it out. If you want to see other reviews or recommendations, I have videos on the channel about those as well. I would appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, kept coming back for more, and helped me grow my channel. And yeah, that'll be it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.